Hi Excos, this year has definitely been filled with ups and downs. We went from being hopeful with measures relaxed at the start of the year, only to revert back to stricter measures and the eventual closure of SAC. We have had to react to many last-minute changes, and that has made us versatile and adaptable to situations. Due to this, I'd say we've changed in many ways. Let's hear more from the chairmen themselves.
Indeed, as overall in charge for CCA Roadshow, we had to come up with new ways to promote our CCAs to students virtually. But since the pandemic, we shifted from a physical CCA Roadshow to a virtual one, where we utilized social media and other platforms to promote CCAs virtually to students. What was unique in this year's CCA Roadshow was our CCA boards. These CCA boards, which displays the CCAs offered at IT Core Central, are placed throughout the campus. It features a brief description and point of contact for the various CCAs in ITE.
It hasn't been easy for student well-being as well. We had to go from physical events, where physical interactions and activities possible in large venues were changed to hybrid/virtual events, where they were mostly now limited and held online. This can be seen in this year's January Principals Cup Challenge 2021, where we had to change the planning of physical games to sourcing out online games held in classrooms to abide by the regulations. We had to plan out a new event called the April Online Challenge, also known as Move ITE, where we had to replace it with the Principals Cup Challenge that is supposed to be held for the April intake.
Not only did our end results change, but our processes in the way we did things had to as well. So Leah, how have the processes differed in the project committee this year?
Well, last year, for our anti-drug campaign back in January, we were able to conduct physical booths. However, this year, we had to adapt from physical booths to conducting class presentations to educate students about the social costs. The same goes for our Children Cancer Foundation, CCF project, which we had to carry out the heart-folding activities on a virtual scale. Through these events, it enabled not only the Excos, but the whole committee to become more adaptable to change.
I believe steering also had to adapt to the last-minute changes this year as well, right Cheryl?
That's right, Danish. A crucial process that happens twice a year in January and April would be the SC recruitment. A positive outcome from this whole process is that we were forced to create new processes, such as online case files and a round-robin interview procedure, both of which have never been done before. Despite doing something new, we achieved our set goal and recruited more members than expected.
We can see how the processes have changed and impacted both groups. One thing for sure is that we have definitely gained something from these experiences. Lastly, the element of people. Some of our committees had to change their culture, while others had to focus more on the people and communication aspect. Let us hear how this was accomplished.
For House, we had to come up with new and various ways to keep our members engaged when the SAC was closed. This year, we got to touch in on more of the creative side, where we had an activity called Art at Works activity, where members from all committees participated. Well, you can say that we seek new ways to keep our members engaged during this pandemic. Let's now hear from Zakira and PNC on how they have adapted to the changes during this pandemic.
As we are unable to physically connect to the student body, PNC started interviewing and gathering thoughts of the SC members after they've contributed in events to showcase and share with the student body. For Racial Harmony Day, our SCs and even the student bodies were spotted wearing all sorts of ethnic clothing to school and were then compiled into a post on our Instagram page. It was really a sight to see, and we're so glad to see that those who couldn't take part last year are really enjoying themselves this year. This period has been extremely difficult for us working with media and publications, but we're so glad to have gone through this together. Now Danish, let's hear thoughts from you.
Despite the various initial changes we had to adapt to, and constantly worrying about how we can bond our committees and the council, I believe we were able to still do our best to reach our goals and still create a family, even if it was only through online means. Never forget these tough times, my fellow councillors, as it has surely made you into a tougher individual.